go ahead and start your testimony, and I may ask you questions along, and we'll keep it to about 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. I started patching first part of January. I think we've been going about 6 months or so, and started out with X39 and the Eon, and really didn't know. I mean, I was a little skeptical, like a lot of people, whatever. But Wendy had patched my shoulder with some ice waves, and I kind of saw the benefit, and so pain went away in my shoulder and hasn't returned. And so I did X39 and Eon. I wasn't sure really exactly what was going on. I felt like I had more energy, different things, and really saw the difference about 3 months in. Fished a tournament, stood on my feet all day, and then we went out dancing. And I had told Terry when we got home that my feet, hips, uh, didn't hurt. And that was a surefire thing that would have, after being on my feet all day in a bass boat and then dancing all night. And so we kind of made my first post then. And anyway, then we switched to the X39 and 49. Uh, and I've seen even more benefits. I don't feel near as tired ever, and been sleeping good. Terry says I snore less or quieter. I snore a lot quieter now, and uh, anyway, I don't know. I feel good. Like just wake up every morning and make sure I got my patches on every day. So, uh,
And you
it, it,
also you also went in there and weighed that one day.
oh yeah. I dropped about I'd say close to 15 pounds,
Wow.
and hadn't changed anything. I mean, I hadn't changed anything as far as diet or exercise or anything. Everything was basically the same, and so I feel like it just because inflammation and all those things or whatever, just it was very beneficial for me. So
And then so you've also ice waved some fishermen recently. You want to talk about a couple?
yes. I had a buddy come in the other morning early to get some ice out of her ice machine and was having a lot of back pain. And I just ran in the house real quick early that morning and patched him up. And his pain went away almost instantly. And he was able to fish all day. And uh, they were over at the house later that evening, and he was really excited about it, and wanted to get on board because of it. And I've actually, even up here in New York, I've got a kind of a full plethora of patches with me, and I've patched a couple of guys here that are probably going to get on board, but because of it, because of pain relief in the shoulders, and one guy with a knee actually. So anyway, so pretty good stuff.
Good job. Okay. Well, that's a good testimony. I'm proud that you're on board with me with this. It makes it a lot easier that we can do this together. So,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, and we can both.
It's good to see my wife in person. Been gone a while.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep going with the Zoom so you can get off there and go take care of your fish camp. Okay.
Okay, babe.
All right. Love
All
you.
right. Love you. Bye.
Bye. All right. So that makes it even better when, because Tim was skeptical and I was skeptical, but since he got to see the relief, it's just been even better for us to do this together. And so if your spouse or your significant other is not patching yet, that's okay. Like, don't worry about it. They're going to see some changes in you just because things are going to change, and just just keep praying about it that they'll just put the patch on. So because it's ultimately changed his life, and I love that he has a heart for sharing, and he's sharing it with all these people, and he can actually help them too, these fishermen. So if y'all don't know me, the ones that have joined, I'm Terry Flowers. I have quite a few people patching under me now, close to 150-ish. And so I started doing the Zooms. It just keeps growing. And I wanted to do the weekly Zoom so I could connect and I could see the people that I might not have personally sponsored, but that that people that I personally sponsored have shared it and they're helping people. And I want to be able to help y'all. So if you don't have my number or we haven't connected on Facebook, please do so, because I would love to share with you and get to know you too. The X49 patch, for any of y'all that aren't patching yet and you just joined to learn a little bit, that is the patch that everybody needs to wear, period. It's the stem cell reactivation patch. I'm not going to go into details on how it works because we have videos and we have trainings for that, and I can do that one-on-one with you. But we talk about other patches on this Zoom because I want to educate you guys on what other things LifeWave has to offer. So if you're not getting the full relief with your X39, like it's pain or you have an autoimmune disease or there's something going on, there's other patches that we can put with that to enhance it, to complement it, and to make it better. And so that's why one of the reasons why I like to do the Zoom. And tonight we're going to talk about the X49. When I started patching from the very beginning, because I work out and I want good muscle tone and all the things, I started with the performance bundle. I started with the 39 and the 49. That's considered the performance bundle from LifeWave. They give you a discount. If you buy them separately, they're $99 each. But if you buy them together, they're $179. So I started with that. And then we had the Eon too, like Tim said. I didn't start him on the 49. I just did that for myself. He had a lot more pain in his feet and hands, and he wasn't so much, the 49 wasn't something for him. So I started with that. I had the sciatic pain, and I've been doing that for 6 months. Tim got upset with me because he saw that I was putting other patches on my body and he wasn't getting to wear them. He was like a little kid. It's crazy. Why am I not getting to wear that patch? Why are you wearing that patch? So I started the 49 on him, and y'all heard him say that in the testimony about 3 months in. So every patch I wear, he does not put the Alavita on his head, but he wants to know what it is and why he can't wear that too. It's so funny. So the X49 is, I wrote some notes. So if I'm looking to the side, that's why. I don't want to mess any of this up. But comparing the X39 to the X49, the X39 phototherapy patch, they're all phototherapy patches. It's the main patch. It wakes up your stem cells, and the way it works is the light is redirected back into your body, and it turns on the GHK-Cu peptide. That peptide is made up of glycine, histidine, lysine, and copper. The first three I said are amino acids, and then copper, okay? Amino acids are your building blocks of your proteins. And so you get some from your body makes it, and then some they don't. You've got essential and non-essential. You have to get some of these amino acids from your diet. You get those mainly from protein, meat, poultry, nuts, eggs. That's where you're going to get your histidine and your lysine. Now, the glycine, let me double check myself. Yeah, glycine we make. Our bodies make it. And then I know some of y'all, when you started patching, I said to make sure you're eating some copper-enriched foods like salmon, cashews, dark chocolate. We need some copper, and we normally get it through our diet, but you have to have it to make this peptide. And so when we have that light coming in and we're making that peptide, it's good to have some of those things that I just mentioned readily available in your body so that you have more of that GHK-Cu copper peptide floating to turn on more stem cells. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's how X39 works. It's been shown in multiple studies to stimulate the reactivation of stem cells, and so we went over that. X49. So it's a daughter. It forms a daughter peptide. It's made up of 3 amino acids and copper too. It's called AHKCU. The only difference is it's alanine, histidine, and lysine, and then copper. And so I'm going to talk about alanine. I watched, if any of y'all want to just listen to David Schmidt talk about this, tell me. I will send you the video. It's so good. If you're a science nerd like me, it was really good. So alanine is the difference here in this peptide. And they work together like a mother-daughter. It's like you've got to have the X39, but if you add the X49, it's like it just enhances it. So alanine in research has been shown to cause your hair to grow up to 20 times more than the X39 alone. Is that not crazy? Hairdressers need to know about this. Like people with thinning hair. He said even in the video that it's like up there with those, I don't know the names, Rochelle would know, but like those medications or those, you know, Nutrafol or whatever they're called that cause that hair growth. That's how much more hair growth that alanine part of that peptide can cause. Increased muscle recovery following exercise, like you don't get sore. I'm telling y'all, I work out pretty strong and I do not get sore like I used to. I can hop out of the bed in the morning. I'm not stiff. It's crazy. So I can attest to that. You get up to 90% more calorie burn with your activity when you have the X49 paired with your 39. Changes in body composition. You really see an increase of fat burn. And in that video, he shows the studies and pictures of it's like a man and his fat mass content, his muscle mass content and everything. And then in 2 months of doing 39-49, it shows the difference in his fat mass. And that's all he changed, how it decreased like 5 to 6%. So if fat burn, fat metabolism, I know we talked about energy enhancers before too, but the X49, that's what we're putting our athletes. All of our athletes are 39-49. Their muscle gains are more, their fat mass is lower, their energy, their stamina is better, their recovery is better. So that's where the athletic part is going. If you have coaches that are friends or trainers, they need to know about these patches. They need to know about the carnosine too, as far as, you know, getting well. To help the X39. Also, it's been shown to improve your blood pressure and reduce or lower your pulse. So if you have high blood pressure issues, anything like that, the 49 has shown that too. It also said that if you're low in alanine, it's probably because you're vegan or vegetarian, because these amino acids come from our protein sources. So just note that if you're vegan or vegetarian, you probably need to add some form of protein. You're probably already doing that because that's pretty much standard. It's probably from soy or some other. Also, it shows that it causes osteogenesis, which that is the production of new bone cells. So it has been proven and shown that it does reduce osteoporosis and osteogenesis. So women, especially through menopause and going into those years, and we have bone loss, I think X49 is very important. And we need muscle. We need good muscle building too, because we lose our muscle mass quickly as we age. Already said strength and stamina. And then he also talked about the alanine is something. So he said it was a specific amino acid, and this peptide, this AHKCU, it's more specific to cells, like the brain cells and the heart cells. The GHKCU, he said, is like all over the body, the peptide. It's systemic. But he said the reason the AHPCU is so much more specialized is because it's found more in those tissues. And the heart tissue repair, he said, it's off the chart to help the heart repair itself. So anyone with cardiac problems or anything like that, they really need to look and maybe add the X49. And this is so cool, y'all. This is the coolest part. The studies and research are currently being done, but it's being shown through these studies that the HKCU will be a part of the cure and the healing for Alzheimer's and ALS one day. And that's pretty powerful. Can't be proven yet, but that's where it's going, and that's what it's showing in these studies, that that's how powerful that peptide is. So if you have anybody who is suffering from anything like that, can't say that we heal or cure or do anything with these patches. Your body heals and cures itself with given the right thing. But anything I listed and someone you might know that might need, the help for the body to give it what it needs, I would highly recommend the 39 and the 49 combination. So that's what the 49 is about. There is a promo going on right now with LifeWave. It started yesterday. It goes through the 13th of July. And if you buy the performance bundle, the 49 and the 39 together, you get a free Eon with it. You can't do it with your monthly subscription, though. I tried to do that yesterday for someone. You have to go in and you go to promotions, and I'll show you in a minute if we have time for screen share. And then it'll say the performance bundle with Eon, and you click on that and add it to your cart, and you just buy it separately. But you get that free Eon, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that for Sydney and me and Tim to have, because it's nice to have that extra. So that promo's going on. I'm going to open it up to our next testimony. We have an awesome testimony from Lisa. So Lisa, I'm going to give you the floor.
Hi, guys. So Wendy reached out to me, last April or May. I had a back surgery, failed back surgery in March last year. I didn't get any relief from it, still had pain in my legs, couldn't stand up for very long. And she told me about her thyroid stuff. So I said, well, what have I got to lose? And I started on the X39 only. Well, I did get some ice waves to help with, put on my lower back as well. And they helped. And I got bucked off in July and broke my pelvis and my thumb. And my doctors were really amazed that they didn't have to do surgery on me, because 95% of the breaks that I had in my thumb, they had to put pins in. And I healed great. And I don't have any problems at all anymore. I was back on a horse in 5 months. And then 6 days ago, as you can see here, I had shoulder surgery and my rotator cuff repaired. And they had to also re-anchor my biceps tendons. I've had 1 day of pain really since then. And that was the day the block wore off. And I really couldn't get away from it. But in anticipation of this surgery, I talked to Wendy and Terry, and they told me to get the carnosine patches as well. So I got on board with the carnosine and the Eon, and I have had no swelling, no bruising. I don't know if you guys can see. I mean, I've got patches on right now. I went to the physical therapist today for the first time, and he thought I looked amazing. He was really impressed at the movement that I had and how I wasn't stiff. And I really thought I'd be super sore today from getting manipulated. I'm not. So I attribute it all to this. But I added the Eon about, I don't know, 9 months in or so to taking it, because I've been on it for just over a year now, the X39. And I will always have the X39 as a staple. But when I added the Eon in, I could really, really see a difference in pain and inflammation. I also have fibromyalgia. I was taking 900 milligrams of gabapentin a day. I no longer take any of that. I had 2 different types of muscle relaxers that the back doctor was giving me. I'm off of those. I'm off of all of my hormone replacement therapy. I have lowered my pantoprazole because I have extreme acid reflux to once a day rather than twice a day. And I have gone down to one antidepressant from two antidepressants. And I feel absolutely amazing. And I just wish the whole world could get on this stuff. And I share it every single day. I know people get tired of me talking to them about it, but I just keep yapping at them. So hopefully they'll give in and try it.
That is so awesome. Like that's amazing. Coming from a physical therapist standpoint, I wish that I was still in the clinic where people were patching and I could see what your therapist is going to see with your progress, because just to have the pain control and the swelling and all of that. So,
well, my therapist today was very interested in it and asked me all about it, and I gave him all the information. So hopefully I can get him on board too.
Yes, I hope so. That's good. He's going to help a lot of people with that. It's awesome. Does anybody else have a little testimony they want to share? Any wins, anything before we move on? No.
Hey, if nobody else does, I want to share about my girl in the swimming pool. But okay. I'll see if anybody else has something.
No. And then I was just going to talk a little bit about like the business. And so we have a few minutes if you want to. Maybe a minute.
Yeah, super quick. So this just goes to show, like, don't not share. Just like Lisa said, she's just going to keep sharing. And that's the way Terry and I are. You know what? If it helps one person, it made it all worth it. And so we share. And so I would encourage you to share your testimony, or even just share somebody else's on Facebook. There was a lady, I don't even know how, she was scrolling and praying, she said, and looking for something for a friend. She wasn't even looking for anything for herself. She reached out to me, and then she began to tell me that she is like the person everybody comes to. She's real holistic and likes the natural things and anything but prescription if possible. And so I said, you should just do this, and then you help everybody, and you can make a little extra money. So she started wearing the X49 and Eon, not even like, expecting anything, because she didn't think she had anything really wrong with her. But anyway, she has a little 8-year-old daughter, and she was in the pool with her 2 evenings ago. Normally she will not go underwater. She just stands waist deep. And she texted and said, oh my gosh, my daughter asked me to dive and get these diving rings. And normally I just laugh at her. And she said, I got them. And then not only did I get them, I was diving, I was swimming, I was doing handstands. And she said, I've been terrified for years of water. And she laid out on her little floaty for an hour and a half with like relaxing, no anxiety, no fear. And then she said that night, God like kept her up all night, just putting people in, like what he woke her up, just telling her like names of people that she needs to help. And so I'm just saying, like, God is all over this company, and just if you'll just have faith and trust that they are helping you on the inside, even if you don't feel it and see it yet, and then help other people, because it is really the latest and the greatest thing. I can't even imagine not having it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Yeah, Wendy and I get these texts and these calls. Like, I could go on and on with some testimonies tonight. We've only got 7 minutes left before we're cut off, but it's just amazing. And I just encourage y'all to share. I did put on there on the agenda that we could talk a little bit about the business. If y'all have questions, does anybody have questions to ask or anything about any of the stuff we talked about tonight? Everybody's good. Y'all hardly ever have questions. But I always want you to bring them if you have them. It's the business part is so easy. It's not hard. Like, if you're interested in it, just reach out to me or Wendy or, anyone, the one who enrolled you or just the sponsor above you. You just start with 4 people. I mean, we all know and love 4 people. Gosh. I mean, that's pretty simple that we can think of at least 4 people that could benefit from being, wearing the patches and having their health better. And then you just build 2 teams. You build a left team and a right team, and I'll show you how to do that. And then it just goes from there. You're just helping people do the same thing that you're doing once they start patching. you just encourage them to share too. So that's pretty much how the business side of it works. And you can do a little bit or you can do a lot. You can pretty much, you're the variable. I mean, the patch is going to sell itself. So it doesn't, and I don't ever feel like I'm selling. I feel like I'm just sharing. I kind of have that mindset that, and this may sound ugly and I don't mean it this way, but I have the mindset that, I mean, I don't really care if you don't want to hear about it. I'm going to tell you and I'm going to share it. And if you don't, that's fine. Like, I'll move on to the next person, because I know there's other people that are hurting, and there's a lot, it's a wounded world. And so some people are ready to receive it and are like, oh my gosh, let's get going. And then some are like, no, I don't think so. And so, and that's fine. That's fine. I wasn't ready to receive it when my sister told me. She's 6 months longer into patching than I am. She told me last year, and I was like, okay, cool. Didn't, wasn't it? Yeah. And then I had sciatic pain and all this stuff came about, and then I was ready to listen. So I listened to my little sister, and then now here I am telling everybody. So I get it. Like, people may not be ready, and it's just, timing, but at least plant the seed and share with them, and know that you did your part to share that there is an answer to their neuropathy or their back pain or that horrible autoimmune disease or something that they're facing or they're fighting. You have an answer to it and you can share it. So if you're interested in the business part, please reach out to us, because we want to help you. And you can, like I said, do a little or do a lot. A little can just pay for your patches every month, or a lot can be something that you do full time. Like I have become doing it full time, and so that's what we have on that.
Hey, and I'll say one thing, even if you don't want to make extra money and you're, like there's a reason, still share it. Like, send them to Terry or to me or whatever, but share it, it's like, I don't want to say you're selfish, but we don't want to be selfish. If we know of something that can help somebody and you don't want to do a business or make extra money, send them to Terry. Like, tell them, just send them to Terry.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have a really nice lady friend from church, and she's had remarkable results with neuropathy, and she's like, I won't ever be without these. Well, she's telling everybody in church. I had 2 men call me yesterday. Well, they wanted to order, but before I put their order in, I called her and I said, okay, I know you told them about it, and and she said, oh no, I don't want to do the business. I just want to tell everybody I'm going to share it, and if they want to patch, I'm sending them to you. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I just want you to be aware that, and so that's how I handle that. I'm like, if you are referring and telling people and telling them to call me, because I always say that, I'm like, give them my number. Just, I don't care. I want to help everybody. So that's a good point, Wendy. Like, if you're, not interested in that, that's fine. That's good. But I would not tell someone just because, you can always tell them who they can go talk to help them. And we will help them. We will really help them. Like, I want to troubleshoot. I want to know what's working and what's not working. I want you to reach out to me and say, I haven't seen anything change in 3 months and blah, blah, blah. Okay, maybe we need to add this. Maybe we need to see if you're drinking enough water. Maybe we need to, I'm not going to just start you patching and then just leave you out there for the wolves, like that. I had someone earlier, and I don't even know if she's on the Zoom, but she's wanting to build the business, and I've been really helping her. And she said, I've never had anybody in my upline help me as much as you're helping me. And I was like, that blessed me, because I want to see everybody else succeed. I mean, she's got dreams and wants to help all her people too. So Wendy and I are in it to help y'all. That's our main purpose, and that's our main reason. And that's why I'm doing these Zooms, is to help you. So I think that's it. Unless y'all have a question, I have a little over a minute remaining. And I think next week we are for sure going to talk about glutathione. I said that last week, but then I really want to talk about 49 because they're running this promo, and I wanted y'all to know about it in case you wanted to do the performance bundle. So, okay. Well, y'all have a great 4th of July. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing. Okay. Talk to y'all next week. Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.